Hello and welcome to Leeds Tax News on Friday the 18th of November. I'm Philippa Challis.
And I'm Grainger. Here are today's headlines. Is the winter putting Leeds homeless hostels under strain?
It's far from festive for people who suffer from seasonal depression.
A bridge in the city centre is being painted in rainbow colours to mark Transgender Awareness Week. The festive season is once again upon us and we can see cheers, laughter and smiles all around. However, the winter period isn't such a joyous time for everyone.
The gloomy weather and isolation are just some of the factors that bring on something called seasonal affective disorder, and the figures are rising. Rebecca Stein reports.
For many, Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, filled with festive fun, family and friends. But for some, Christmas can spiral their depression out of control. Tony Fraze, author of Coping with Depression for Carers, spoke about difficulties this time of year.
There's two forms of depression, mainly mild depression and then severe depression. Mild depression usually is started off by some catastrophic life event, such as death of a loved one, becoming unemployed, losing their home, debt. Severe depression is a totally different thing. It's a person's existence. It's called what I would call an existential illness. It's the person just questioning their own existence. I was doing some research work with a professor of primary care psychiatry at the University of Manchester, and she recently semi-retired, and she's also practicing psychiatrist. She's been researching depression, writing about depression for something like 35 years, and she even suffers depression herself. So I said to her, out of 35 years of writing about it, researching it, what have you learnt? And she came out, the answer was in one sentence. It was people need to talk about it sooner.
Tony isn't wrong. Up to 10% of people experience depression in Britain, according to the Mental Health Organisation. Chloe Mincher is one of them who's brave enough to speak out about seasonal depression.
Seasonal depression, for me specifically, I suffer from depression all year round, but I think Christmas and the seasonal holidays puts a lot more pressure on you because you're expected to be happy. Like, you watch other people going out Christmas shopping and doing nice Christmassy seasonal things, and you just want to lie in bed all day, and you want to be part of it, but you just don't have the energy to do so, and it does really get you more than anything.
Rebecca Stein reporting for Leeds Tax News.
As it gets colder outside, those who are homeless will be in desperate need of shelter and a hot meal.
We sent Henry Birkinshaw to find out how homeless charities in Leeds will deal with the added pressure of winter.
Winter is drawing nearer and it leaves many of the homeless in Leeds left with no place to stay. St George's Crypt is one of the many charities in Leeds city centre which is currently providing accommodation and food for those who otherwise would be spending the night on the street. According to the Department for Communities and Local Government, 5,369 people were sleeping rough in 2015. Earlier on, I spoke to Matthew Neese from St George's Crypt and asked him what they're doing to help those who are living on the streets.
This winter we're making sure that our doors are open, that we're fully warm, fully available for anyone who comes to our doors and needs a bed.
Do you do anything for those unable to get accommodation for the night?
Yes, we do. We open up our service on an evening basis to those who haven't got any accommodation across the city, and at certain moments, particularly when the weather goes below zero, we will open up and accept anyone who has no space at all.
It's coming up to winter. Is there a strain at St George's Crypt at this time of the year?
I think unfortunately we're seeing a time in our city where numbers have increased, but we'll be here to meet those needs in conjunction with all the other partners across the city.
And what can the general public do to help?
I think in St George's Crypt we're always in need of clothing. Good quality warm clothing is always used, particularly training shoes and jeans. And very much a lot of our clients are men. It's for single people accommodation.
Finally, as a charity, what do you provide for the night for the homeless?
Anyone who comes here will get a warm bed, a clean, warm bed, and they'll get warm food, a meal as well. And for those who are staying with us 24/7, they will also get a lunch and an evening meal as well.
It is only ever going to get colder as the Christmas period draws nearer. St George's Crypt, as well as many other homeless charities in and around Leeds, will be trying to make sure everyone has a warm winter this year. Henry Birkinshaw, Leeds Hacks News.
West Yorkshire Police are appealing for information about a man who assaulted and robbed a woman in Headingley.
The incident took place on the 20th of October involving a 21-year-old woman who had had her phone stolen on Kirkstall Lane. Detectives have released an e-fit image of the suspect and are urging people to come forward.
A central Leeds rail bridge is to be painted in rainbow colours to mark Transgender Awareness Week.
The rail bridge amid the LGBTQ bars of Leeds is currently under maintenance for the colourful facelift, but there are mixed views on it among local people, Sophie Turner reports.
This week is Transgender Awareness Week. Leeds are showing their support by painting a rail bridge on Lower Brigate in the colours of the rainbow flag. Work started 3 weeks ago and is going to take 3 months to complete in total. This Sunday marks Transgender Remembrance Day. We're here at the heart of the LGBTQ community in Leeds, where they're going to paint a rail bridge in the colours of the rainbow flag. Leeds City Council have been working with the LGBTQ community in order to create this iconic landmark.
Basically, I think it's good for the community that it's getting painted in the rainbow flags, so it stands out in the community, but on another level is the noise, the disruption that it's making outside for the customers to walk past. They can't get through, it's just causing absolute chaos really. But
it's going to be a first in UK, if not a first in world, so it's quite important for this area as well, with it being the LGBT quarter, to make a bit of a statement to the rest of UK saying this is it, we're here, and it's a safe place to come. We get visitors from all over UK. We have a trans night once a month, and we get people from Scotland, Ireland, you name it, they turn up in their hundreds. I think we'll get a lot of sightseers coming to see it because it's going to be unique. It's going to be first place in UK to have one. Contractors are excited as well. They're pretty pleased to work on it. We might even get some photos of them all up there when it's done.
as you can see, work has already started on the bridge and it's expected to be completed by February 2017. This is Sophie Turner reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
Tonight is a night for one of the most anticipated fundraising events of the year.
Children in Need inspires businesses and individuals to raise money for the charity. Leeds Beckett University has been making a contribution by holding a cake sale and tombola in the cafe throughout the day. There are a selection of prizes to be won ranging from champagne to hair products, as well as cakes for a small bit of change.
All money raised will go to the charity to help underprivileged children to get the help they need. As the charity slogan says, whatever you're into, do your thing and make a huge difference.
The image of a writer is somebody who works alone, but performance is now becoming an increasing part of being a poet.
For some young writers, last night was the first time they took to the stage at a special event in Leeds City Centre. Claudia Ballister reports.
Leeds has always been a creative city, with plenty of events that allow you to showcase your talent.
Tonight, the Fenton is hosting a creative writing event, which encourages young people to come share their poems. Let's go.
This time next year, I'll be on my journey of self-discovery. Intricate religious carvings, workshop rituals, romantic ruins, a crowd of monks.
Yeah. If you're knocked up, married, or in love with career, every year is exactly the same, so a trivial question's what you should really fear.
Okay, so how do you think reading your own work to an audience benefits your writing?
It definitely improves it, because when you're writing to read, it's very different to writing to just, to be read. So you kind of have to think about the audience as well.
After taking the stage, Nasser Hussain explains why poetry is so important.
But the thing is, that's where I get my power. There and all the windmills that I tilt. It's because poetry seeks truth in a way that other disciplines don't necessarily have available to them. So science gets to ask certain questions, law, business, sports science, I don't know where. But Every discipline has its way to truth, and I think poetry speaks to some essential human questions.
If you think you're brave enough to face the mic, the Fenton holds open mics reading every Tuesday after 7 p.m. Come enjoy some poetry and a pint. This is Claudia Ballister reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
The city of Leeds has welcomed more than 26 million tourists this year. The figures are a marked increase on 2015.
According to a survey backed by Leeds businesses, the number of people staying overnight has gone up by 12.5%, Layla Rose reports.
Latest figures from Conference Leeds and Visit Leeds have shown the visitor economy sector is growing at an impressive rate, with day visitors up by 4.7% and overnight stays increasing by 12.5%. The figures are set to improve, with Leeds expecting to jump from 5th most popular shopping destination to 3rd in the UK, following the new Victoria Gate shopping centre opening.
Last year, Leeds welcomed more than 26 million visitors. Major world-class events and arts, culture and culinary choices has made Leeds a very popular tourist destination. We asked people in Leeds if they consider Leeds to be a tourist destination or not.
Yes. Well, obviously I've lived in Leeds for about 10 years now, but I think it's got like quite a few new shopping places and stuff like that. And I think it's always got like giant markets and everything, so it's every year it's always something different. So I think it is a really good place to visit.
It has a really good location, so it's next to a lot of towns and cities that are like basically really popular and so on. It has a lot of shopping places and lots of good restaurants. Obviously, you have universities here as well, and yeah, it's a very modern place. It's advanced in the last few years, and as you can see, a lot of new places are opening up, new developments. So it's good for a tourist, a student, and like of course employees if you're looking to get jobs here. So yeah, it's a pretty good place.
I will, because it's as a history student, it's one of the leading. Leeds is one of the leading centres for history, and it's good in like fashion. It's good in like shopping centres, and they've got lots of like. They've got the museum if you want to like brush up on your history, and it's got like a sense of like the urban area, like the countryside and the city centre side. So if you want to like have a feel of both, you can have a feel of both. So it's a nice place to be, and also it's got variety of like restaurants where you can eat, and it's also a welcoming city. So I would love to come here as a tourist. Yeah.
While business tourism continues to grow, leisure tourism visits were estimated to have generalized 1.5 billion in 2015, more than 10% in 2013. Layla Rose, Leeds Hacks News.
And now to Megan with the weather.
The weather in Leeds this weekend is looking dismal and cold. Saturday will see some dry spells with highs of 5 degrees Celsius. There will be some showers throughout Sunday with lows of 3 degrees.
That's all from us here at Leeds Hacks.
Have a great weekend. See you next time.